Hey guys, it's Stephen here back with another video, and this one's a very special video. If you don't know, I have a Patreon. Of course, you know I mention it all the time. Sorry, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. And this video is for one of the $40 a month contributors. I've only got two of them. Steve Browning is one of them, and basically he gets to have a video question answered every single month. It's a thing I'm doing at the moment. So this is Steve's video. Steve, thank you very much for your support. You're an absolute hero. I'll go into his question in a little bit. And what I say in general, I appreciate all the support getting Patreon from you guys. The idea I've got that from the first place is just that hopefully one day I can go full time with this channel. I don't expect anyone to contribute. Honestly, it's one of those things where you don't have to at all. You really don't. I just enjoy you watching these videos and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. It means loads to me. But I do like to give something back to the people who want to get involved on that side of things. So this one is for Steve Browning in the $40 tier. That's an extreme tier. There's only a couple of slots available, but in general there's a $3 tier and a $10 tier. The $3 tier gets you a shout out in the credits at the end of the video and an invitation to the Esteemed Company part of the MCFC Discord group, and the $10 tier gets you involved in the Patreon only Q&As where I answer your questions in videos like this. Not this kind of one specifically, but a more broader one where everyone gets to say. The $40 one though, this is just for Steve. So if you want to get involved though, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. If not, just keep watching those videos as ever. But this one is for Steve Browning. Steve, thank you very much for supporting this channel this month. You're an absolute hero. Steve's question would it'd be great to have a video on who you think the City should sign and why, and who you think will be leaving in this summer. So I'm going to offer some quick kind of lazy Sunday afternoon thoughts as I'm recording this video just for Steve. It's like the day after the Spurs game and I'm so bored of talking about Spurs. It's unbelievable. So it's quite nice to talk about something else because Spurs have dominated my life for the past 10 days or so. So Steve, to answer your question, well, in general, I think I'm going to look at the positions I think City will sign. Well, they try to sign anyway. I think it's fair to say we probably want a centre-back going forward, given Vincent Kompany's age, given the fact that Otamendi's making some noise about maybe leaving in. And maybe left-back is still up for debate, given that we're not sure yet if we can trust Mendy through his injuries, and maybe even long-term Zinchenko. We don't quite yet know if he's going to keep up this form that he's shown recently. He could just revert back to type like Delph did this season. So maybe left-back, maybe a forward, given the fact that we've only really got Aguero and Gabriel Jesus. I know we can be very flexible how we play, but Aguero, you know, he's not far away off leaving now, unfortunately. A couple of years maybe at most. And a central defensive midfielder. We really need a defensive midfielder, as we all know, given the fact that Fernandinho's getting older. Gundogan could even leave in the summer as well. So we've got to look at those. For centre-backs, I'm going to start with just the one guy I want, De Ligt from Ajax. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He's 100% my number one choice if we can sign a centre-back. He's young, he's a leader, he captains Ajax, he scores goals. As we know, he got him through to the semi-finals against Juventus. And he's just a complete centre-back already. Yes, he's still got some ways to learn, but he's just got a good physique, a good turn of pace. He's so intelligent on the ball. He reads the game. He's basically like a perfect Guardiola young centre-back, and I would love him to challenge alongside Laporte and Stones as the future of our centre-back options. I don't think we'll get him. I think he'll go to Barcelona as well, but for me, he'd be absolute perfect. Now, with left-back, as I said, if we did sign someone, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did, simply for the reason that I'm not sure if the club really can trust Mendy yet, as Zinchenko is very much happy to be like a rotation player, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went in with a very unprecedented option of having three left backs next season. I think it's fair to say Delph isn't really a left back option for next year. I think in general we've kind of gone past that. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get another go there. But if we would sign a left back, I wouldn't be surprised if we went after someone like Ben Chilwell for Leicester. I'm a bit underwhelmed by him in general, but I think he's a good player, and I wouldn't be surprised if City went after him. Maybe Ronaldo as well, the young Portuguese left back who's doing very well at Benfica, very skillful, a bit like Angelino at PSV, but more experience in general. Those two would be good options for me as a left back option if you wanted someone to kind of bolster that position. Going forward, further up the pitch, defensive midfielder, one is absolutely crucial. We could need two, essentially. I don't think we'll sign two, but we've been linked with lots of players there, obviously. Tanguy and Dembele is my first choice. I think he's fantastic, the Lyon player. He showed against us that he could be excellent. A little bit rough around the edges in terms of technically, but he's got that power and that pace which should suit the Premier League so well. For me, he'd be a very good choice in the centre midfield options. I think he could learn loads. He can keep the ball, he can tackle, he can dribble. I know he's not currently number 6, but I think he'd be one of those Guardiola complete midfielders, and he'd be more than comfortable there. Also, the Atletico lads, Rodri, we've been linked to him big time. He's a very good player. Seen as many as the kind of future of Spanish football at number 6. Basically, the heir apparent of Busquets there. And you can see why those comparisons come in. He's very rangy with his passing. He's got that big kind of long-legged stride thing, and he's more a defensive midfielder in the mould of Busquets in terms of he's in the right right place at the right time as opposed to some bulldozing tackler. He'd be fantastic. Very much reminds me of Weigl at Dortmund. Even though he's gone off the radar a little bit, in general he reminds me of that. Could also go for Sol Niguez as well. We've been linked to him quite a lot. I'm not sure he'll come, I don't know, but he seems very attainable and he's a fantastic complete midfielder. I'd happily have him in the Manchester City shirt. In terms of further forward, as a forward, Joao Felix, the wonder kid, he's so good. I would love him at Manchester City. How old is he again? Let me just check. I can't even remember how old he is. He is only 19 years old. He's absolutely set the world alight at Benfica and looks one of the most gifted young attackers that I've seen in a long time. Genuinely fantastic. Manchester City clearly do want him. Bayern Cheeky's been already doing that whole thing where he starts to negotiate and whatever, but Benfica want a whopping 120 million euros. We won't pay that, surely. Surely not. But all I know is that he's fantastic. I don't know where he would fit into the team. Maybe he ended up playing out wide, which asks questions currently of the squad situation, but he's just majestically talented, can pass with both feet, can finish with both feet, a good turn of pace, and he's still growing to a decent size. He looks one of the most talented players I've seen in ages. I would love to have him in the squad, and then it's up to Guardiola to work out where he can go. They're the kind of players I would love to see at Manchester City. In terms of players that could leave, there's a whole bunch. There was some rumours going around that up to 8 players could leave in the summer. That won't happen because most players who want to leave, even if it's just for the right reasons, it's always hard to kind of work out a suitable transfer. In terms of someone that could leave, I think Mangala is a pretty safe bet to go somewhere. Maybe Claudio Bravo could go as well. We could see in that Zach Steffen, that American keeper that we signed, coming as a number 2 next season. Could be Muric, but I think Muric will go out on loan. So maybe Mangala and Bravo are dead set. Someone like Gundogan, he's only got a year left on his contract as of this summer. It could be that City decide to cash in on him, which would be a shame because I think he's starting to show his value big time in terms of the transfer market, but he could leave. Otamendi as well. I think he wants more regularity in first team football, even though he plays quite often. I think he just wants to go somewhere where he can start every single week. I'm sure if a very reasonable offer came in for Otamendi, we would consider it, but it would depend if we can get a centre back in to replace him. Danilo doesn't play much for a player of his calibre. He's a good footballer. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won so much in terms of trophies. He might just fancy a move to someone like Inter. He's been linked to them, and that would be a good move for him where he play regular. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Delph also could leave. You never know where Delph could go. I think he's kind of on the periphery, but I think you want to stay, but once again, it could depend if there's a good offer coming in for him. I think Zinchenko might stay now. In terms of outside bets of leaving, this is going to be very controversial, but see who comes in for Sane. You never know. You'd want 150 million for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid, with their rebuilding operation, are sniffing around him. He could have his head turned. I don't think he'll go, but he is on the bench a lot at the moment. He's the one kind of crazy outside bet. If we were to bring in someone like Joao Felix, he could be the one to make way. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's happened, but it could do. Another outside bet is that we might just decide to cash in on Mahrez a little bit earlier. Once again, I can't see really that happening because it feels like neither of these. There's too many kind of like things that need to happen for those to happen. I can't see the people. I just can't see it happening, basically, for whatever reason. But it could be a very interesting summer. I think we are going to see plenty of changes in the squad because certain players are getting a bit older now. If you look at some key members of our squad, Kompany's really old. He's going to be. I think he might stay for a year, but we need to replace him as a number 4 centre back, the 4th choice centre back. It could be Eric Garcia, of course, or Sandler, but I think in general we'll look to sign someone senior. Otamendi could go as well, so he could help on that front. But then Fernandinho and David Silva are getting pretty old. David Silva is showing some worrying signs in terms of his form at the moment. Fernandinho hasn't kind of slowed down yet, but you never know. Next season he could drop off a cliff. And Gundogan could go. That could mean we need 3 senior midfielders. Obviously Foden fills one of those slots, but we still need 2 more potentially. And after that, there's a lot of players there that are very key to this, and we need to replace them. We don't need just one number 6. We need 2, I think, because you've only got Gundogan. He could go as well. So Fernandinho and Gundogan go. It isn't going to be easy, basically. I've got a feeling we will be very active in the transfer market this summer because I think we need to start to look forward a little bit. Last summer was a bit underwhelming with just Mahrez, and we didn't get the defensive midfielder that we need. And we're probably only a season away at that point anyway from needing 2. So we're probably nearly ahead of that. We're going to basically need to really kind of revamp our midfield because Silva, Fernandinho, Gundogan could all be gone in a year, which sounds crazy, a year and a half or so, something like that. And we need to basically start planning for that. It's going to be really, really interesting. I would be happy with 2 or 3 signings this summer. We could see a few more. We'll see a couple of young lads coming that we've never heard of, probably. They'll be the ones that are kind of like go out on loan, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a really interesting summer. What do you think of these potential signings? Who do you think City will go for? There's probably names that I've missed off, but they're the first people that came to mind. And once again, Thank you to Steve for this, for the questions. Steve, thank you very much for supporting this channel. You're an absolute hero. I really genuinely do appreciate you. One day, hopefully, I'll be able to just sit here and make videos full time for all you guys. It'd be an absolute honour and a pleasure. But until that moment, I'll keep doing these, and hopefully you all enjoy this kind of content. I know it's just for Steve, but you guys hope you enjoy the video as well. If you want to get involved, patreon.com/Esteemed Company, and I'll try my best to make it worth your while. Anyway, thank you to all these names scrolling down the side of the screen. As ever, go watch my match reaction yesterday from the Spurs game if you want to. I was very happy, put it that way. And I'm going to go out and enjoy the sun now. I'm going to find my parents. Going to go to my parents' house. Go find them. They're at home. Go to my parents' house and sit and have a barbecue. You're going to do the same, right? In a bit. See you later.